Today's episode will begin with 1 minute of remembrance and acknowledgement. Please watch the video to see on-screen dedications. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody, to the JMach podcast, where our mission is to combat veteran and first responder suicide, one story, one conversation at a time, while reminding everybody in this room that you're not alone. We all have our struggles. Today, I would like to introduce Kev The Allstar. However, he's going to introduce himself because I don't want to know you as Kev The Allstar. I want to know you as Kevin.
All right. All right. Well, hey, JMach, and your name is?
Joshua Ryan Mack from Beecher, Illinois. You need my social?
Great to meet you. No, I don't. But
Pleasure to meet you too.
My name is Kevin Brown Coughlin.
Kevin Brown Coughlin.
Kevin Brown Coughlin, yes. Yeah, little trickiness, so I'll dive into that. So I never knew about the Kaufman part until I was 16. I always just Kevin Brown. That's what most people know me as, or just KB. Kaufman was just my name. You heard, if you were here for the comedy, you heard about me moving around. That was real. The Kaufman didn't come until I was 16 because my Social Security, I wanted my driver's license, and I gave him my Social Security number, and she was like, that's not your name. I'm like, my name is Kevin Brown. And you know, at 16, I gotta have my driver's license, lady. You really messing up the vibe right now. And then I go home to my mom, and she's like, oh, we gotta get your birth certificate and all this. And then birth certificate came, said Kevin Kaufman. And then so we got a Social Security number, card, a new card. And so yeah, so now it's Brown Kaufman. So, yeah.
Well, Kevin Brown Coughlin, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Kevin Brown, bro. No, it's cool.
All right, KB.
There we go, give him one.
Real quick, brother. How you doing today?
You know, I just got off the stage doing comedy. I'm great. I'm hype.
So how are you really doing today?
Man, you know, it's got to be the day that, how am I really doing? I'm thankful, man. I'm really thankful, especially with the phone call I got while my hair was getting rebraided this morning. Got a phone call from a brother that we was actually in a psych ward together. I don't want to go too far into that, HIPAA and stuff like that. But he was on the verge of doing something. It's never easy just to pick up the phone and ask for $20, especially as a fellow Marine or whatever. But it just took me back to a place, I'm really thankful, and I'm in a place where I was able to help him out. And not only that, we were able to stay on the phone for, an hour and a half or something like that. Did what I said, would call him right back after I got out of there, because it's video chat. So yeah, man, yeah.
What a start to the Memorial Day weekend.
Right.
I just want to say, dude, I'm real proud of you for answering that phone and being there for him. Yeah. And I'm more proud of you for opening up and admitting that you've been into a mental hospital and you checked yourself in, or you've been checked in. I as well have been there. I needed that myself. And I know a lot of people, there's a stigma around that, but I don't use it. I don't think it's cool. Like, hey, I checked myself in. Do you got a card? No. Right. But I do think it takes people to show that, like, you can hit rock bottom, you can hit these challenges, and now you're on the Phoenix Center for the Art 3rd Street stage, headlining your own comedy show.
Yeah, thank you.
Pretty awesome.
I appreciate it, man.
Love you, dude.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, well said. Yeah.
So let's
get
get
a lot of work.
Absolutely. Let's get into this childhood of yours. What was your childhood like?
You heard it.
In a comedic stance now?
You know,
Remember your Kevin Brown.
man,
Kev
my
The Allstar.
childhood, I don't know, man. My childhood was different. It was, my childhood was hard. You know, I don't think I'm trying not to look out there, but you know, I see my mom sitting there. You know, it was rough. You know, I was born right here in Maricopa County Hospital. My mom walked a really rough path. I come from, I keep it 100, Mom? Can I keep it 100? So my mom was a street walker, if you know what that means. You know, she met my dad off $20, you know? But my dad eventually would marry her, you know? I didn't really know my brothers much, you know, because I was like, who broke up the family, you know? I was always like the bastard child, you know, like their fault, my fault, or whatever. But, you know, we bounce around a lot, man. But I think that's what also helped me to be well-rounded. So I'm thankful. You know, it took a lot for me to forgive my mom. I blame my mom for a lot of stuff when I was coming up. But then when I came home from my tour, I love my kid, you know, I love my daughter. And I really wanted to see my daughter. But when I came back from Iraq, the first person I really wanted to hug was my mom. You know, because she went through hell. We went through hell. So thinking and blaming her for so much stuff, like, oh, you should have been more like a mom or a parent. You know, you were shitty this, you're that, just whatever, you know. But going over there and seeing the third world, you know, it was just different, right? So it was like, thanks, Mom, you know, because you could have just gotten rid of me, you know, like, for real, you know. She didn't need to put up with a lot of the shit that I was getting into. So that was really just thankful for her, you know. So yeah, so it was rough, but it was also good, you know. We had our highs, we had our lows, you know, and I'd forgiven her, and, you know, and it wasn't perfect, but it was still my mom, you know, so yeah.
You want to give her a hug? You want to give her a hug?
No, she's cool. I'll give her a hug after.
Okay. Hey, I want to say I'm proud of you again, dude. You broke through that wall. I saw you were about to hit it, and then you hit it, and you're like, I don't want to talk anymore. Yeah. But then you just continued to open up, and this is the start of the journey for you that you're already on. I also want to acknowledge the crowd and let you know that this conversation is going to continue this way, and it may get heavy for you. So if any time you need to take a moment and step out, please do. And again, please make sure you come back. I don't want you to leave alone. We're here to talk to you as well when we get back. So thank you all. Sounds like a very interesting childhood. So I can't imagine how high school was.
High school, bro. High school was cool, man. I was the man. There goes the humor, right? High school. So I guess you want me to talk about high school.
You can say it again. It's still high school.
High school was cool, man. You know, we moved, you know, from the west side of town to the east side of town. And I don't know, man. I was always getting approached to play football and walk out on the field, you know, and the coach. So that high school was ninth grade to 12th grade. I didn't do ninth grade there. I stayed at my junior high school. But 10th grade, I went there and saw Sugar House, Utah. The home of the Highland Rams, the home of the Rams. Cool school, a lot of different gangs, different preps and jocks and all that stuff. Wasn't really excelling at it or anything like that, you know, of that nature. But there was, I wish I remember the coach's name, you know, but he was like the first person that ever called me Brown, you know, like Brown. He moved down the fucking hallway. And I'd be like, what? You know, because I wasn't up to no good, man. I was really hanging out with a select kind of people. We were making the choices, but I was still showing up to school, you know, because my brother had to get his driver's license, right? And I was trying to graduate early to go to the Marine Corps. But the company that I was keeping at that time, I never told nobody that I wanted to be a Marine. I couldn't tell people that I wanted to work for the government, right? But I would tell my dad that. But high school, I didn't finish like on time. I don't want to drag out. I know we want to get to some different topics. But the coach was like, hey man, you should come try out for football. And I was like, oh yeah? He's like, yeah. Get you out of trouble, stay off, I hear what you got going on in the school, but you're not the first and you won't be the last, and I can help you if you just come on the team. I was like, okay, what times? He was like, come to tryouts, come to practice. And I was like, what time's that at? He was like 5, some crazy early in the morning. I laughed. I said, hell to the fuck no, dog. I said, man, I don't come to the first 3 periods, man. What are you talking about? I was not coming. But yeah, man, and then eventually I was already talking to recruiters when I was 15, so junior high, high school. But I ended up dropping. I left mid-year of 11th grade, junior, and I went to a night school. So.
What was your influence to wanting to join the Marine Corps, especially so early?
Real talk, I was G.I. Joe and Transformers. I knew since I was little. I meant to bring this drawing. That I did in like 4th grade, 3rd grade. Yeah, 3rd grade was when we first moved to Utah, and I drew it, and it's got tanks and planes. Like, I knew I was gonna go in the military. I just didn't know the branches. And then Desert Storm, Desert Shield had kicked off. I remember I'd come home and my story is a trip, man. I'm telling y'all, when I put my books out, y'all better buy them. Anyway, Desert Storm, Desert Shield had kicked off, and I was always watching Eddie Murphy Raw and Eddie Murphy Delirious. And then I was watching the news. Operation Iraqi or Desert Storm was off and on the news, and a Marine Corps commercial came on, and it said, you're not black, you're not white, you're green, Marine Corps green, the few, the proud, the Marines, something like that.
Hurrah.
And man, I was hook, line, and sinker, bro, like big time. Once I heard the black and white, because that was me, like I was always, my friends, there was always like forcing me to like pick a side, like, who do you think loves you more, man? You feel like the blacks are more with you, or your white half? That was real conversations. It was just like, I'm just me, man. I'm trying to get along with everybody. So that's really what lit the fire. I was always going, but once I heard Simplify and all that, I was like, I'm gonna be a Marine.
Did turning green help you solidify like your call? I don't know how to properly word this right, but my wife struggles with that same thing where she's mixed, she's mulatto. So I'm just trying to learn more about you as well. But like did you truly become green, or did you still have to choose black or white?
No, I feel like battle buddies or whatever, they kind of chose like for me. Like if I was with the brothers, not the brothers, the brothers. When I was with them, it was always like, man, you want to do that special forces shit? What the, that's the white boy in you coming out. Like, you want to go outside the wire and do what? It was always that type of stuff. But the whites you were always the loudest one in the room, man. Like stuff like that. But it was cool, man. I didn't really feel anything like that, like when I was coming up.
All right. What was your time in the Marine Corps like?
Great. I loved it, man. I would hope so with my tattoos. Like, you can see my forearm, like
Motivated.
Gung-ho awarded, corporal's course, all this shit, man. I was just gung-ho through and through, man. But it was like more so, it was just, I was, from what I came from in my life and just making my dream come true and like having to switch up so much to make things happen. So backtrack a little bit. So I didn't join at 17 like I originally planned. I had a kid, so luckily for that I had a really good recruiter at that time from like when I was 15 to 17. And I had my kid, and so I chose not to join, but my cousin and one of my best friends, and still to this day, one of my best friends, they both joined. And so I waited, and then the day after my 26th birthday, I was in the Yellow Footprints.
26?
26.
Dude, I thought I was old going in at 23.
Yeah, for real.
Were you considered the old man when you hit the fleet?
Yes and no. I had 3 people in my kilo company in boot camp that were older than me, so that's cool. But I black don't crack, so nobody knew my age. Nobody.
Yeah, I was 23. Being
until
told
like
I was
middle
like,
of my deployment, pretty much. You were 23?
I was 23 and being called like a grandpa. Dude, it like really fucked with me a little bit now that I think about it. Look at you, you're performing therapy on me now. So you talked about going to your first deployment, you come back, and the first thing you wanted to do was actually hug your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Is that when you recognized that your mom did all she knew, what to do to keep you alive and to keep you progressing through your life and providing you a life?
Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt, man. I mean, yeah, there was tons of times we went without, but there's more times that I would sit and eat and she wouldn't be eating, like, you know, like legit, like crackers. Like, that was it, like peanut butter, maybe. And that wasn't always, but it was often, you know. So she would go without, you know. And a lot of times that's because of choices that she had made, you know, looking back. But it was always, I got you, like, you know, so, you know, yeah, it could have been worse, but it was what it was. And she was always like, I just told somebody backstage, you know, my mom was my mom, she was my dad, she was my discipliner, she was my best friend, she was my protector. You know, anybody fucked with me, my mom was there.
All right, we get it. You're a
Like,
mama's
straight
boy.
up. Yeah, she's badass, man.
That's awesome, dude. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Coming home from that first deployment, what changed for you? What was it like to come home?
I mean, kind of exciting, kind of boring, kind of just wanting to go back. You know, like it was different. You know, I just was like, what is this? Like there's a whole war going on. Like, why am I at the mall? Like, real talk. I was like, I want to go back. So.
When you were deployed, did you want to stay or were you waiting to come home?
No, I was waiting to come home.
Yeah.
Absolutely waiting to go home. You know, like, what's the first thing you're gonna do when you get back? You know, so.
And then you come home, though, and you want to go right back there.
Pretty much.
And that is because you felt like you needed to be by your brothers and sisters out on the line?
Yeah, but no, because I would have went with another unit, you know, where you don't have that camaraderie. You're the new guy, you know, so, and that actually came faster than I thought it would, but I mean, I didn't go because I would have had to give up my post-deployment leave, and I wasn't willing to do that. So I was like, nah.
Not waking up early and not giving up the leave.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I was trying to do like 2 weeks. I was like, well, if I can just do 14, you know, 2 weeks, I'll gladly come back and deploy with, I think it was 2-7 at the time. But I was like, nah, my mom and my kid will freak out if I just go right back. Like, we were back like, I don't know, 30 hours. And one of our staff NCOICs picked 3 of us, selected 3 of us, like, personally. It's like, hey, I want the 3 of you to come with me to go back right now. Like, what? We've been here a day.
So then what do you think it was that wanted you to go back, that made you want to go back?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think it was something different than that, man. I didn't want to come back.
You didn't want to come back to the States?
I didn't want to come back, period. I was literally under this weird thing in my head, like, my plan as a kid was just go to war and hopefully die there and be done, you know, die a hero, you know? Like, I didn't plan anything afterwards. Like, I didn't go to the Marine Corps for benefits. I didn't go to the Marine Corps for college. I went to the Marine Corps to go to fucking war and be done. That was it. And I so happened to come back. And now what, you know? So it was just like, shit, here we are, you know?
What was the now what? You come back from the first deployment, your post-deployment leaves over, now what?
Now what? Go through the motions, man. You know, different things would happen in my career, so I would, now what? So I got the opportunity while I was deployed, you know, did a couple missions with First Force Recon and Fourth Force. So that, like, really lit a fire in me to go SF. So when I came back, and that was the time frame when MARSOC was coming into the picture. So me and 2 of my other buddies, we just constantly was training to make the change into MARSOC. One just retired from MARSOC. The other one was the 2nd Recon Battalion. And then I got jumped at the stumps and lost my package. So, yeah, so it sucked.
You mean jump like?
Like jump, like 12, I think it was 12 Samoans that jumped me. Yeah, you could read Reebok on my face, and I was really fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they did some damage on me.
Dude, I'm going to go back again. I apologize.
Sorry, man.
But
I hope I'm answering your questions, man.
No, you're doing a great job. I appreciate you on here and being honest. But you mentioned that you were hanging out with the wrong crowd before you joined the Marine Corps, and then now you're trying to excel in the Marine Corps as a motivator. Where was that switch? What caused that switch?
Nothing really. I mean, I remember getting verbally counseled in the Marine Corps. They're like, hey, you're hanging out with shitbags. I'd be like, I've been hanging out with shitbags my whole life and I'm here now. So don't judge the book by its cover. I hated that, and I still do. I don't like people trying to fit me into a box, because I'm gonna shift gears on you quick, and you'll think you might know something about me, but I'm a light switch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was judged so much as a kid, and like nobody just asked like, how you doing? You know, how you really doing? People just all automatically thought they knew me. And I mean, even my upbringing, I had already been exposed to so much stuff before I was 10 years old. You know, I knew so much stuff, man. You know, anyway, I really hope I'm answering your questions, man.
Don't hold back. This is your story, so whatever you want to share, share.
Yeah. Well, you know, I see the cameras rolling. That's fucking with me. But no, yeah, man.
Look right here in the pearly blues, brother.
Right there, man. Yeah.
All right. So you go on a second deployment?
Not to Iraq or Afghanistan, unfortunately. You know, they put some boot in my place, and then I went to Korea. I was mad as hell. Yeah, so I went to Korea. But yeah, no second deployment.
And how long were you in the Marine Corps for?
Total of 14 and a half, but I left active duty in 2009, and then I went to the reserves.
What was the causing force to get out, the transition?
The causing force of why I left active duty?
Yes, sir.
Well, my original idea, man, was to do 4 years and get out. I wanted to be over there, and I wanted to hit E5. I want to hit sergeant and dip out. I remember talking to my recruiter, and I was like, well, what rank are you? And he was like, I'm a sergeant. I was like, how long did that take you to get? And he was like, 6 years. I was like, I'm gonna get it before I get out. He's like, the fuck you will? I was like, I guarantee you, I'm gonna get it. And yeah, lo and behold, I got it. I mean, I was combat meritorious lance, combat meritorious corporal, became a team leader as a lance. And then I was on the board for meritorious sergeant, but when I got jumped and lost my package as MARSOC, I lost the board for meritorious sergeant.
So you lost the package because you were all fucked up, or?
No, I lost the package because I got injured pretty bad.
Okay.
And I had a heal, so they weren't accepting MARSOC wasn't accepting the 2 months that I was told I would heal. And they were like, no, you have to heal for 12 months before we send you to NDOC.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're like, we'll jack you up, dude. And I was like, oh man, this sucks. Like my heart had sunk. Like now what, you know? But the causing factor, like I'm pretty sure if I would have went MARSOC, I probably would have re-enlisted most likely because I'm getting what I want. But the reason why I left was because my kid was turning 13 and I knew she needed me more than the Marine Corps did. My unit was deployed to Afghanistan. So my platoon commander knew that we were up to slot for Afghan. And since 2007, I was putting in packages constantly, like, send me to Iraq, send me to Afghanistan, just on a solo, we like go with whoever, right? And then we got orders to actually go to Afghanistan, but I was already on the verge of getting out. And he was really asking, like begging me to go. He was like, I'll make you a platoon, squad leader. And he was like, dude, look, I love him. Shout out. Anyway, I won't say his name, but went to his retirement too. But he was like, look, did you hang out with your parents when you were 13? I was like, absolutely not. And he's like, so exactly, you think your daughter, like if it was a boy, I would get it, but it's a little girl, right? I was like, yes, Gunny. He's like, she's not gonna fucking hang out with you. She's 13, she don't wanna hang out with her dad. I was like, yeah, and she definitely won't hang out with her dad if I'm in Afghanistan. Like, simple, right? So he had a great package set up for me too. He was like, hey, let's get you the monitor, you'll extend, do the 2-year extension, and once you're over there, you'll re-enlist, tax-free, and then right when we get back, I'll send you to Scout Sniper School, and you'll definitely be in MARSOC by then. And I was like a golden dream, just like he's throwing the beautiful package at me. But I had a picture of my daughter, so I already was like, nah, my kid needs me more, man. It's always been, I wish she was here today. And she knows this though. I've always chosen her. You know, from when I was 17 wanting to go in, and my girlfriend at the time was pregnant with her, you know, and the recruiter saying, you know, you'll never see that kid if you go in and you're not married. You know, and I was like, okay, then I'm not going. And he's like, you've been talking to us for 3 years. I was like, and? If I'm not gonna know my kid, this is pre 9/11, you know? So it's like, no, man, I'm gonna choose my kid. Thank you. Thank you.
I love that you're a family man because I'm a family man too.
Absolutely.
And I got to give it up for the active duty service members or reservists that are parents and they still choose to go out there and serve, because that's got to be the hardest thing, constantly being away from the family.
Yeah.
I don't have that in me. I choose family first.
Yeah, definitely not.
So what was the transition from active to reserve like for you?
Fucking nightmare. Straight up nightmare, man. It was like a brick wall hit me. So it's not like you're active duty, because my time, I had already done my obligation. So you can literally, it's like a job. You can quit whenever you want. Like, you ask for your checkout sheet, you're done, you're gone. And my very first drill, right? So I was here, I got the prior service recruiter at Luke Air Force Base. So I talked to them, they're like, hey, we can get you a staff sergeant here, blah, blah, blah. They're setting up the deal again, you know, and I was like, at Bolt Fuel? Hell no. I was like, you can keep your staff sergeant, dude. And anyway, he was like, I was like, where are the infantry guys at? He's like, we don't have one here. I was like, oh. And he's like, the closest ones are Vegas or Pendleton. You know, you got 4th LAR there. And I was like, I know myself in Vegas. Like, nah, you're not sending me there once a month. Like, I won't come home. Like, I love Vegas, you know, like anybody, right? And I was trying to keep my money. So I was like, nah, let me go with 4th LAR. So went there, my first drill, my very first drill. I show up in my alphas, right? My Jolly Green Giant suit, right? And my fellow Marine is in camp. He's like, checking in. I was like, yeah, you checking in? And we're both, you just feel the difference, like your prior active, right? He's like, yeah, hoorah, yeah. You know? And he's like, why are you in alphas? I was like, well, fucking checking in. He's like, my recruiter told me to wear a cami. So I was like, oh. So automatically a bad sign of comms, right? But it was all good. So me and him, I changed over to camis, dude. And anyway, we're walking, and these two like juniors said some shit, and both of us, man, we just lit them up in a true Marine Corps fashion, and everybody was watching. We're on the tarmac with all these LAVs and shit, and we're just, wow. It was just like, I didn't drop a beat, bro. Like, in camis, I'm just a different beast, and it was great that I got a battle buddy right now, so we just became instant friends. But the reserves were on such a first name basis and just a buddy system, so it was a nightmare. But I ended up staying because it worked. It was cool, you know, so it just took time. But I stayed for the range was the next drill, and then the Marine Corps ball was the next one, and that's what got me. I was like, okay, these guys ain't too bad, you know.
Sounds like the Air Force and the Army, or the Marine Corps.
Kinda, yeah, but they knew who, you know, it's kind of like you set the standard from the jump, right? So they knew who they could get away, just like in boot camp. Drill instructors know who they can kind of discipline a little harder, if you will.
For sure.
And that's how it was there. They knew Sergeant Brown didn't play that shit, right? Like, you're not gonna call me first name. Like, nah.
Dude, I still hate that though. Like,
Yeah.
don't call me by my first name. It's JMach now, everybody.
JMach.
No. So what was your decision to get out of the reserve unit?
Oh, I didn't get selected for staff sergeant, so I dipped.
Okay.
It kind of wasn't my choice.
Do you feel like after the reserve or when you transferred to the reserve that you hit that transition and you started to, did you struggle?
Oh yeah, man, I struggled hard, real hard, man, way before so I struggled when I was in the reserves. Yeah, they knew, yeah, I had to leave the command for a little while and then they brought me back. Yeah, I definitely struggled, man.
How so? You think I'm just going to accept this surface level?
I would hope so.
No, brother, we're going
You
deep.
gotta buy the book.
I got you.
It's all gonna be in the book. You know, bag it, man. I know people are needing to hear this stuff, so if I can help somebody, really bad, man. You know what? Just because of my phone conversation earlier, it wasn't the substances, it wasn't the alcohol, it was me. My problem was me. I didn't know how to find Kevin. Like, leaving active duty, my gunny was right. My daughter didn't want to hang out with me. So now I'm in this dichotomy of like, fuck, I'm here in Salt Lake. My daughter doesn't want to hang out with me. My units, my juniors, Marines that I penned lance or corporal, sergeant, they're in Afghanistan. And I let them down. I should have listened. And so who's there? It's that good old bottle, you know? So, yeah, man, I went pretty deep. And like I said, that's how I met this Marine from earlier. So that's just a little bit. I mean, I don't know if I want to dive too deep. Just because it is pretty bad, man. Like 2010 and 2011 were by far the worst years of my life.
Okay, what pulled you out of the worst years of your life then? What helped you come out the other side?
Willpower, tenacity, keep trying. You know, like this stuff. Saging, meditation, Native American sweat lodges. I don't know, a lot of people might not have heard of that, but that's really how I think that's the main thing that really got me like hard was my first sweat lodge. Like I just knew something was different about it. And so I kept going. My very first sweat lodge was April of 2010. And I was in a facility, without saying that location, it was in Salt Lake. But I met me and this other, he was a medic, an Army medic. He had did tours in Afghan and Iraq. And we were the youngest people in there at that time. They were mostly Desert Storm and Vietnam vets in there. And he was like, hey, you seem like you were interested. What's your name, KB? And I was like, yeah, dude, what's up? And he's like, I'm a medic, blah, blah, blah. You know, I was like, what's up, dude? Da, 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 da. We got to talking. He's like, hey, you seem like you're interested with that looking, what is it, the sweat lodge? I was like, yeah. He's like, you just got here yesterday, right? I was like, yeah, how long you been here? He's like, oh, a week. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, but I don't want to go because it sounds creepy as hell, right? I was like, it sounded a little creepy. He was like, you want to go? You want to go tomorrow? I was like, yeah, let's go check it out. So we both got in there, man, and man, we both cried like babies, man. And it felt so good. It felt so good. Like I couldn't explain it if I tried. All I can say is we went back the next week, both of us. And then we went back the next week. Then we went back the next week. And so, yeah, man, and that's literally how I found Sage. Yeah. So.
Can you explain what a sweat lodge experience is?
And I want to say this right now. I'm not Native, and I don't pretend to be. I'm very honored that I've been welcomed to numerous sweat lodges on multiple tribes, multiple reservations. I'm so thankful that I've been welcomed into this inipi, which is the sweat house, the tent, if you will. I'm going to do my best to try to explain this since you did ask. So you got the pit, you got the fire pit with the grandfather stones, which are lava rocks usually. And it's directed, so the pit is usually to the east, and the inipi, or the tent, is it's to simulate the mother's womb, and that's where we all go in. And so you have 4 rounds, which are northeast, south, and west. And you have a fire keeper who brings the stones in. It's definitely, I also want to say that it is not a sauna, and it is not a steam room. Okay, you'll hear people, oh, it's like a sauna. No, it's definitely not like a sauna. You will dig deep. It's so dark in there, you can't see, so you're just faced with yourself, and it's excruciating hot. It forces you to. The way it was explained to me was, all of us in attendance right here, and anyone watching, we have all been inside of a mother's womb, and that's what the inipi is. So you're gonna be faced with these hot temperatures. You're gonna grow, and you're gonna get uncomfortable, and you're gonna wanna stretch, and you're gonna wanna bend, and you're gonna wanna run out of that inipi, because it's so intense. But when you're in your mother's womb, you couldn't just get out. You have to sit with it. And your mother had to deal with the pain of an agony of all of us inside of her. Big love for the woman body, and blessing everybody here. So when you come up, we do have flaps, or rounds, if you will, and they'll let the steam out, you know, for like 5 minutes, but each round usually is like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 40. Then they'll let the steam out for 5-10 minutes, and they'll bring in more stones, or grandfather stones. And you know, you have the medicine man in there, or the water pourer, some native, not necessarily a chief always, but yeah, they'll do the native songs and the native drums. And yeah.
So
I hope I give full respect to that when I speak my little brain.
I can hear you're trying to be very respectful for that. I'm trying to learn. So was there any intentionality set up before you went in there, or did you just go into the sweat lodge and just experience darkness?
Yeah, man, I just went in there. It was something, like I said, I was just trying to, like I said on stage, man, I just step outside my comfort zone, and especially because I had that battle buddy that approached me, and I knew he was from my era, he was young. I mean, he knows who he is if he's watching this. I wouldn't have my Continental if it wasn't for him. He tagged me in it.
Shout out to you.
And he remembered that from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'll never forget, brother. But yeah, we just tried it out, man, just to experience. Because the way it was brought to us was a native, he worked there, and he was like, hey, who are the Iraq veterans in here? And we're like, hoorah. And he's like, so when you guys have your body, because everybody's asking questions, right? And he's like, well, the way it was explained from the previous group that went through here was picture your flak jacket on, all your gear, all your weapons, you're inside the Humvee, and your turret's closed, and you're just in there sweating your ass off on the hottest day in Iraq. And I was like, yeah, tell me more. Like, seriously, I was just like, yeah, like, let's go. And that's literally how I found my way into a sweat lodge.
Have you gotten into any other holistic medicines or rituals or anything like that?
No, man, other than my mindful meditation, man, that's my thing, man. I meditate.
I had the opportunity last year to sit with the IU mission out here in Tucson, and I went through a 3-day veteran ayahuasca ceremony. Not the same, but similar. Like, I purged out, I took some medicine, there was a shaman in there. It was one of the most beneficial things for me. I was able to purge out my depression cloud.
Yeah.
It's bringing tears to my eyes. But I purged out my depression cloud. I felt 30 pounds lighter on my chest. You know when you want to cry, but you can't or you don't, and the cheeks just get super heavy? Mm-hmm. All that shit dissipated for me after I purged it out, and I could breathe out of both. I got a big-ass nose, but I can only breathe out of one nostril at a time. And at that time, I was able to breathe out of both of them. And it's been so life-changing for me. I'm still getting the benefits from it.
So the last year?
Not even the Veterans Day.
The whole year, yeah.
So, yeah.
Dang, man. Yeah.
And I got on this stage now, man, and couldn't do it without Brandon Ramsey of B Rams
Shout out.
Partners in Consulting.
Yeah.
But I'm here doing this for me, but also for you and everybody else that's here, because I'm hoping somebody can take away something. Yeah. And I love to share the different ceremonies, rituals, the different techniques, because therapy is not a one-size-fits-all. We're going to have a couple of guests come up and speak after we're done, and they'll be able to share what their organization is doing, but I just want to highlight the different resources we have.
I love that.
So after the sweat lodge, what happened in your life?
Well, man, I got back to a unit. I moved first. I left Utah. And the reason why I left, I'll go ahead and talk about that. So I was a bouncer. I had to be in the action, because like if you're not in uniform, I had to find some sort of physical action, right? So I was a bouncer because I was a bouncer when I turned 21. So it was like I just went back to my old job, and plus I became like the head of security at places because I'm a Marine now, right? So that was fun. But then it was just, I was constantly just being, growing up in Salt Lake. I did most of my schooling there. Well, pretty much all of it, except my college. I just had different acquaintances that remembered me before the Marine Corps. And they were always calling me my old nickname and all that, and just like thinking I was my past. And I was like, no, man, I'm serious. Don't talk to me like that. I was trying not to be overly aggressive, like the Marine that I knew I am, because that's still my boy from back then, but it's not like my partner today, you know what I mean? And I was just tired of it, man. And then I started kind of falling into the same things. So I was like, I'm going back to where I wanted to live, and it was Phoenix, because I could be by my brothers and sisters, like my actual brothers and sisters, because we're different now, right? Since my dad passed. When my dad passed, we got a little closer, some of us. So, yeah. So I came back here and I joined my unit. So.
And then take me to the time in your life when you got out completely.
Oh, yeah, 2019, man. I was already going to MCC, left the unit and fully discharged July 19th of 2019. And yeah, man, I graduated MCC in December of 2019. And I was gonna go to ASU, and then the pandemic hit. And so, yeah.
What was the pandemic like for you? Just getting off of reserve duty?
And school, and like supposed to walk at MC. My daughter was graduating there. Pandemic sucked, just like it did for everybody, but sucked it up and made it through it, put on some weight. Because, you can't run, can't this, can't whatever. But it didn't really affect me too much. Like, not like that. Like, I didn't lose any family members directly, So, yeah. But, I didn't drop my, because I got accepted at ASU for my undergrad. And then I was like, I'm not doing this because I have to do physical school. My ass needs to be in the seat. I was like that. I really believe that. And then I realized like, this wasn't a me issue. This was the world issue. Like everybody had to go to online schooling. So I sucked it up and I did it. And then they opened the doors and you could start going to school. So that was cool. And then one thing led to another, and then one thing led to another. And I got my master's degree in 2024 or so.
Congratulations.
Top of my class too.
All right, show off. We get
Hey,
it.
I had to.
Keep
I'm a high
talking
school
it up.
dropout, man.
Keep
I'm a
talking it up.
jarhead.
Hey, I'm proud of you. Keep talking it up.
Okay.
You set a great role model for your kids because you showed them like you can drop out, you can have a hiccup, you can fall.
Yeah.
But you most definitely can get back up and propel yourself even further.
Absolutely.
So speaking of propelling yourself, where'd comedy come from?
Whole life, bro. A whole freaking life, brother. I've said this numerous times, and if you know the movie, you'll get the delivery. I've always said, you know my name now, so it's Private Brown, right? Recruit Brown, whatever, right? Shitbag Brown, Motivator Brown, all kinds of Brown, right? But I always say like I'm Private Joker and Snowball wrapped up in one, right? Because I was always the class clown. I'm black and white, so those two characters in Jarhead or Full Metal Jacket just fit me. So I was always like the class clown, always getting in trouble, making the classroom laugh, making my environment, if you will, laugh, because I always felt like as long as you can laugh at me or you can laugh with me, but as long as you're laughing, I was pretty sure like violence wasn't gonna kick off. I could always like keep the peace. I had friends on both sides of the spectrum, back out and say Crips and Bloods, Norteños, Cubos. I was always in those environments, and I was like always a peacekeeper. I was always bringing people together. And I think that's really why, like, even when I started doing social work, like when I was reading through my books, I was like, holy shit, I've always been a social worker. I've always just hooked people up with the right things, like they knew where they were going, So comedy has always been medicine for me. Like literally, like laughter is medicine, man. Comedy is healing. I've always just been on laughing. I mean, with my mom, she used to tell me, like, Maggie, we all good. She's living a different life today. I'm living a different life. Every time she was booked, she'd always be smiling in her booking pictures, right? And she was like, you never let them see you frown. Always fucking wear a smile on your face. And I did the same thing in the Marine Corps. I was always smiling. It was another day to be in the Marine Corps, and I fucking loved it. And I'd get counseled for that, verbally counseled, right? Not paperwork. Brown, why you always fucking laughing, cracking fucking jokes? Why you always laughing? You just always smiling. The Marines don't know if you're serious or if you're playing games with them. I said, well, if you look around, Gunny, because it's the same Gunny, right? I was like, if you look around, what about the dude with the John Wayne face, just a stone cold face? They don't know if he's serious, if he's joking, if he's laughing, he's having a good day, having a bad day. Well, I'm the opposite. I choose to laugh. I choose to smile. I was like, how many Marines call me out in formation to pin him? He shut up after that. He said, roger that. Like, I'm that Marine, So every day in the Marine Corps was great, man. So comedy was just one of them things, man, where it was like, you know what, let me try this legitimately. Let me take a class. So I took a class. It was an improv, comedy, and stand-up class. So, yeah, then I just stuck it out.
When did you decide to take it professionally?
2016, so I was still in.
Okay.
Yeah. When I signed out, when I checked out, he was like, what are you gonna do? I said, grow my hair out and do comedy. A true story. And he was like, what? You gonna become a fucking hippie? It's like, dude, I don't know what year you're living in, but.
Absolutely. And where can we find you?
Oh man, yeah, you can find me right here. You can find me at KevTheAllstar.com. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, shit. Yeah, to all of them.
When's your next show?
My next show is Thursday, this coming Thursday. I don't know the date, what, the 28th? Is that right? I think so.
I
The
don't know.
28th. Anyway, it's Thursday, this damn Thursday, which I believe is the 28th. It's at JP's Comedy Club. It's a show that I host, actually, and it's called The Comedy Rumble. It's really fun. I actually took part in that show, but in Salt Lake, so I had to travel to Salt Lake to be a part of it. I won it, and then me and the founder and creator of Comedy Rumble, we worked a deal, and so now we brought it to Arizona. So now that show's thriving. We're in the second season of it right now. It's really fun.
Congratulations,
Thank
brother.
you. Thank
It's
you.
amazing watching you grow. I know I just met you last December,
Yeah.
but we stayed in contact, and
Yes.
we were able to pull this off today, and it was
Yeah.
a huge success. I've had a lot of great comments about it. Do you have any saved rounds, anything I missed that you would like to get out?
Absolutely. If you're fucking struggling, pick up the phone and call somebody. Don't text. And if you're the motherfucker, and I do mean motherfucker, male or female, if you don't pick up that fucking phone, you're a true piece of shit. Today I was literally getting my hair braided, and my brother, who was with Marine Raider, without hesitation, I ain't talked to him in 3 years. I answered him. I said, yo, what's up? Started crying instantly. Thank you for picking up the phone. I said, dude, I'm getting my hair braided. Let me call you back. He said, I can fucking see, dumbass. Right? I said, are you okay? And he said, I need $20 to get smokes. No one else is answering the fucking phone, but I knew you would. I said, bro, let's text. We were texting the whole time. I called him the second I got in my car. And we were on the phone for an hour and a half. And he's sitting there with a 45. Pick up the fucking phone. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever it is, you know your battle buddies. And if they're even calling just to say, what's up? Just pick up the phone. And if you can't call them back, you might save someone's life. That's what I'd say.
Powerful. And I want to add to that. Dave Waltz back there, he told me something that if you ever have an intuition or you just randomly think of one of your boys or sisters, to call the phone, to pick up your phone and call them. It doesn't matter if it's noon, 3 a.m. There's a reason that they came to your mind, and that phone call could be the reason that they answer tomorrow.
Oh, I love that. You hear it, you feel it. Brother, if I may.
Absolutely.
You and I, a week ago, you sent me a text, and I felt it, and I called you. Did I not?
You did.
And we talked for a few minutes.
You're really good at keeping your word about calling somebody back or just reaching out to them. I do
Right?
appreciate
Because I
that.
felt it in your text, bro. And then you got a little transparent.
Yeah, I was going through something. This whole year I've been going through something.
Share it with the people, bro.
Well, I think-
I'm not trying to reverse this into a different interview.
So now it's an interview with
But
JMach.
seriously, like that's the realness. Like I don't really know him that well, but I felt it in the text message that I needed to pick up the phone and call this man. That's what I'm talking about. Don't go talking to your wife about it. Don't go talking to your homeboy about it. Pick up the phone.
There's some times when I start to go through something and I don't want to pick up that phone, right?
Because it weighs 1,000 pounds.
It weighs 1,000 pounds. Like, it's not that I don't want to talk about it. It's like, I don't want to burden you with my problem again, right?
I hear that.
And so I just choose to be the one that's always there for other people. And I also have to hold myself accountable, because when you ask me how I'm really doing, I'm good, dude. I'm good. How are you doing, Kev? Let's go back.
Right.
But yeah, this whole year I've been struggling a little bit. I think a lot of it was due to my complacency, where I wasn't performing. I wasn't doing any podcasts. I didn't host any Sandbox up until last month. And complacency really kills. Like, they tell you this shit all the time in the military. Complacency kills. And you're like, yeah, okay. But then when you get complacent, you don't even know you're complacent. So now I understand how it kills you, right?
Right.
Another question?
Let's go.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. How are you really doing? It was so fitting.
Dude, that was perfect timing. Drop the mic, but I'll continue to talk. Dude, I'm doing well. We just put together an amazing show for some veterans, civilians, some first responders. Hopefully we were able to impact at least one life, if not more. Now I got you opening up a little bit. You're still a little hard. I saw that, but it's okay. I appreciate you coming up here and sharing. I am doing much better myself now. Like, this is therapy for me. This is meaningful for me. I love to connect. I don't like that everyday conversation with people. I have a friend here, Jessica. We grew up together. We went to high school together, elementary school together. And she's like, oh, it's crazy that you're out here doing podcasts now, because I remember you as the quiet kid. Nothing's changed. I'm still the quiet kid until I have a mic in my hand. And then I start talking. But if you notice, I'm talking and asking questions about you. I'm not necessarily sharing about myself. So I'm trying to hold myself to my standard as well, and sharing more on social media. So now I ask, how are you really doing? And then I go into about my day or my night prior, so I can share and be vulnerable with you and, say what you want to say, but it's my version of leading in the front, leading by example. Because if I can't be vulnerable, how can I ask and open up for you to be vulnerable? And that's why I started the show by sharing with you that I myself have been checked into a mental health hospital, and I'm not allowing that to hold myself back. If anything, it was a little slingshot for me, because look where the fuck we're at.
Come on. Thank you, brother.
Last thing, and then I'll call up the next speaker, but you keep mentioning this book. Are you just going to tease us with it? Is it coming out yet?
Not yet. Maybe started some pages, but there's a lot. I'm trying to find the challenge is there though. So it definitely. Trust me, y'all will know. So, yeah.
All right, Kev, dude, it was amazing talking with you. Thank you, audience, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Let's step off the stage.
Yeah, dude, perfect. Thank you, dude. All right, before we begin the show, Kev The Allstar, he wants to cleanse the space for us a little bit. He's going to burn a little sage. I'll let him take it over. He knows what he's doing.
I don't know if I really know what I'm doing, but it works for me. So I'm just going to take a little moment, do just something like pretty much how I start every day and end every day pretty much. Just going to clean the space with a little California white sage, all right? You can breathe with me if you want. If not, that's cool too. I'm just going to start off with 3 deep breaths.
Oh, no, I got an IP.
Got to destroy it. Don't worry, nothing is being smoked up here. Don't be getting all excited.
Speak for yourself.
Fair enough. Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
While he's burning the sage, I would like to use this as a moment of silence for our fallen brothers and sisters.
Like I said, I am gonna. Would you like some?
Can you do it for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Stand up.
The moment of silence is over. Oh,
They can hear us. I'm gonna just speak out loud. You guys can all hear me, right? I don't need the mic, right? Creator, creator of gods, the highest power above us. I'm not perfect. I'm not religious. I'm pretty sure the man standing in front of me, the human entity in front of me, is not. We come to right here today as two human beings trying to face our truth and our reality with all the powers above, underneath, inside, and outside. If you'll just take a little bit of this and just smoke it around your head. All right, now I'm gonna just cleanse your left, your right. There you go. Okay. We go around to assimilate the four directions: the north, the east, the south, and the west, the highest and the lowest, as above, so below. Thank you, Creator, and bless all these beautiful people in this room tonight, and all those that we have lost, and those that we may still lose that we don't know are on the verge of doing things that they just don't have any way out. Thank you.
thank you.